49.
Very good, awesome. Perfect problem. So I'm asked to graph this showing everything, which means, first of all, I will immediately factor the denominator because I need a domain. That is always my starting point. Without the domain, I can't do anything. I can't graph, I can't even think of moving on to the next step, actually. So how do I factor this? Well, it's a difference of squares. We know that. It's x minus 7 and x plus 7. Do not simplify before you write the domain. X cannot be 7 and negative 7. Is that clear? Is that okay so far?
Yes.
Perfect. Now I'm allowed to do this. And I have 1 over x plus 7. And this is final simplified form. I should have mentioned from the beginning that this is type 2. Because the degree of the denominator is higher than the degree of the numerator, type 2. Which I know does this, for sure. Horizontal asymptote. Okay, then I realized that x minus 7 goes away. If x minus 7 goes away, x equals 7, it's a hole in the graph. Because x plus 7 stays, x equals negative 7 is a vertical asymptote. Because I can't get rid of it. It will stay as a vertical asymptote. Okay, now I want to determine what happens here. All I have to do is put 7 in here. 7 plus 7 is 14. The left-hand side is 1 over 14. The right-hand side is 1 over 14. Now, when I plug in 0, I get 1 over 7. And now I know that this is a vertical asymptote. Left and right must be infinities, but I don't have the sign yet. So I know I'm going to plug in negative 6.9, not in the table, because I'm not going to use it just one time for the sign. Do not put it in the same row. We are not going to use it to graph. We are only using it to find the sign here and here. And, negative 6.9 on this side and negative 7.1 on that side. So with negative 6.9, this overtakes it, it's positive. With negative 7.1, this overtakes it, it's negative. No symmetry. How can I be sure? Because it has a vertical asymptote at negative 7 and a hole at 7. This function cannot be symmetric. And we're done. The moment you fill in the chart, you're done. And this function cannot be 0. A fraction is 0 when the top is 0, but 1 can never be 0, so there is no x-intercept. We're done. Just let's graph it. So I graph my table. That's all I care about. The table tells me that there is a horizontal asymptote at 0. This is an overkill. I don't need to do this. It's already there, but it's y equals 0 is the horizontal asymptote. Also, there is a vertical asymptote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X equals negative 7 is the vertical asymptote. At 0 is 1 over 7. That's very difficult to plot. And at 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's a hole. But how can I plot 1 over 14? That's horrible. Well, I'm going to just say this. And now I'm ready. From 0 drops to negative infinity. From 0 drops to negative infinity on the left-hand side of the vertical asymptote. Okay. On the other side, it's coming from positive infinity. We'll cross the y-axis. We'll go through this point and approach 0. From positive infinity, crosses at this point, continues through the hole, approaching 0. And this is the graph of x minus 7 over x squared minus 49. I'm hoping you were able to see what I was doing. Is that a yes? Were you able to see what I was doing?
Yes, I was.
So that's the reason why I concentrate everything in here, going through those steps, but not really telling you that I'm doing that. Because once you have all the summary, then from here, it's not that difficult to come up with this. But if you have those 7 steps on 3 pages, you will not know where to look. But if you have everything summarized in this table, this tells you everything. From 0 down to negative infinity, from positive infinity crossing at 0, 1 over 7, going through this hole, approaching 0. This is a hole, this is a vertical asymptote, and this is the horizontal asymptote. So I do this in my calculus classes, but in a different way, because they are determining other things, not just this. And I always encourage my students to create their own table. If you don't like this one, summarize the information in any way you want. But once you have it summarized, you will always be able to come up with this. But if you have all this information on 5 pages, I don't know if you're going to be able to come up with this. So summarize the information somehow. Thank you for your question. It was a very good one, Gabby. Thank you. Perfect. Next question, please. If the system marks you wrong for something, just send me an email and I'll take a look at it and I'll give you the points. And no, I don't want you to redo and redo and redo and redo. So if you work on a quiz, please don't waste your time. If there is something wrong, show me and I'll change the grade. Do not do it more than once. Does that answer your question? Yes? Good. Next question, please.
Can you do 21 over test 3?
Which test 3? What are we talking about?
Question 21
On what?
on test 3.
You mean what I posted?
Yeah.
Oh. I wasn't sure. Okay, sure, of course. You said 21. Let me go in. 21. Can you tell me? I don't want to waste your time. Can you tell me what it is till I open it?
It's a find the length and width of a rectangle whose perimeter is 34 feet and whose area is 60 square feet.
Very good. So we have a rectangle. We have x and y. X I denoted by x I denoted the length, and by y I denoted the width. The perimeter of rectangle is 2 times x plus 2 times y, and it's given to us to be 34. And this is our first equation. So far so good, everyone?
Yes.
Perfect. And now area is length times width, so this is xy equals 60. Perfect example. Thank you so much for choosing that, because in this particular situation, I cannot use elimination because this is a product, and I don't have a product here of two variables. Before I continue, I will do something, and I would like you to tell me, because now you know what I do. You know me very well. What do you think I'm going to do? Anyone?
Simplify?
Yes, I will definitely simplify the first equation, dividing it by positive 2. So I have x plus y equals 17, of course. Why? Look, this is so much easier now. I don't need those big numbers if I can work with small numbers. And I get the same answer. If I don't get the same answer, then I can't do it. Okay, so obviously my only chance is to substitute. It doesn't matter if I substitute for x and move y, or I substitute for y and I move x. I prefer keeping it in descending order. But if you write 17 minus y, it's the same thing. No problem there. So then I replace my x in here by negative y plus 17. Negative y plus 17 multiplied by y minus 60 equals 0. I already moved 60 because I see it's going to be a quadratic equation, and I need to set it equal to 0. I distribute, obviously, negative y squared plus 17y minus 60 equals 0. Again, I'm looking at this equation, and there is something I don't like about it. And what would that be? Of course, no one will ever force me to solve a quadratic equation with a negative leading coefficient. So this is y squared minus 17y plus 60 equals 0. Yes, this is not a big deal. So how do we factor it? Y minus 2 and y minus no. So we have, yes, that's, yes, thank you. I was just changing that. Thank you very much. So the sum, I was going to just write it for everyone to see. So the sum is negative 17 and the product is 60. So it's negative 15 and negative 2. Of course, I will still continue writing that. So negative 15 times negative 5 is indeed positive 60. Negative 12 minus 5 is indeed negative 17. So then we have two solutions, 12 and 5. But that's not enough, because I have to go back and find x. So when y is 12, negative 12 plus 17 is 5. And when y is 5, negative 5 plus 17 is 12. Do not write the y, of course. So it's either 5 or 7. 12, 5. So it's either 5, 12 or 12, 5, of course. In other words, it doesn't matter. The length will still be the longest anyway. So 5, 12 or 12, 5. And yes, we should go back. 12 times 5, no matter what, is 60. And 2 times 5 is 10, plus 24. 10 plus 24 is 34. So we know both work. We checked in the original problem. It was a very good problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. Is this clear every step? So don't forget about our test, and